Okay, this is our second video. This is called our E.S.C Rife Machine. We're going to post a link below to our regular E.S.C machine, and then this is just an adjunct to that therapy. So everything that applies to the basic E.S.C therapy applies to this therapy. The only addition on this therapy is the ability to input a Rife frequency. So please watch our first E.S.C video. And then if you have purchased the E.S.C Rife, this is instructions on how to use the Rife component of the E.S.C machine. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in this medium coil. Now, this is really the only coil we recommend treating with when you're using the Rife feature. The large coil is too weak, but if you are very sensitive, you could use the large coil. But essentially, this is the main treatment coil. So once again, you're going to turn on the machine. Okay. Now, let's turn that off. When this is off, this is the Rife controller. It just becomes a regular ESC machine, just like the last video. You do everything we showed you in the last video. So now when we want to do the Rife treatment, we find a Rife app, which you can download on your Android or your iPhone or iPad. This is called Z-app. It's a free app. There's some other apps. You can poke around and see what you like. There's one other app here. Let me show you this one. Nope, not that one. Sorry, that one you've got to pay quite a bit, $150. It's this one. Rife Frequency Player. That's a nice app. You can do a tone generator. But I like Z-app. It comes with built-in Rife programs, like 1400. So you're just simply going to go from the output of your device into the back of here. It's an 1/8 inch 3.5 mm stereo jack. Cord comes with a machine, and then you're going to find a sequence. View the sequences. So let's just pick any of these sequences. Addiction. That's a good one. Okay, this is a good one to start because we'll demonstrate how this works. So there's a play button. Okay, so there's the play button. What we're going to do, this is turning this into the Rife ESC machine. So what we're going to do is turn this on. This is called the modulation level. You need to go to at least 50% power. We're going to go all the way up. Once you turn this on, you're defeating the normal ES machine. This no longer works. And now you're in Rife mode, so this is the control knob. So once I hit play, you can see what's going on. Now why is this moving now? It's not going to move when we get to higher frequencies. 20 hertz is 20 cycles per second. You're seeing the 20 cycles per second. If it's too powerful, you can turn it down. It's going to vary with each frequency, the power. So you can go to about 75%. And if you're sensitive, again, turn it down. Don't go below 50, really, because then it stops. So we get up here. Now, in this case, it starts engaging a little below 50. So I say 50 is the starting point, and then you can turn up. So this is your basically how strong the therapy is. Now this program, you can set all kinds of variabilities, how long it runs for each frequency. Once it goes to the 727.5, you're no longer going to see flashing. And this is running, it's got 37 seconds left for the 20 hertz. Once it gets to the we'll wait for it to get to the 737, and you're going to see that you're no longer seeing flashing because 737 cycles per second is too fast. So it's just going to, and we're almost there. So once again, this is the medium coil. It's the only coil you're going to use. You can put it to the affected area you're trying to treat, or the kidneys. You could even go through the heart, let's say, as a sort of central delivery system. You can get very creative through a chakra. Okay, now it just hit the 720. Well, it actually went to 962. Okay, so that's the next one. You can't see any flashing because it's too fast, but you can turn it up. So it is going, and you can hear it if you put the coil to your head, to your ear. You can actually hear the frequency. So at this point, it's putting out a variable field around the 300,000 hertz. It's going to vary anywhere from maybe 300,000 hertz, yes, and it might vary from 380,000 to 320,000. Again, this is your control for power. So 75% kind of leaves you around the 400 milliamp area, the sort of baseline milliamp that you use in the regular system. But you can just play with the power. You can also, in any of these apps, make your own programs, customize the time. You can do have all kinds of fun. What makes this unique is that the ESC technology by itself dives deep into the cellular body. It treats organs. It's a standalone treatment. To be honest, I don't use the Rife adjunct that often because the carrier wave, the ESC itself, is such a phenomenal treater. That and ozone are my sort of main protocols for treating systemically, along with some key ingestibles. But bottom line is, you go very, very deep into the body's terrain and change the toxic terrain with using just straight up ESC therapy. It changed again. So now you can adjust the power. Again, 75% seems to be the sweet spot. Alrighty, so once again, you just get your device, you run the output, you run in, turn this on. Now, I just defeated the Rife. It's off. It's still inputting, and now I'm back to the ESC. Now, back to Rife. This no longer works. In this particular Rife application, you're going to be using the medium coil. The donut coil you can try any of the other coils, but it's the main coil is this coil, and you can control the power. That's pretty weak there. But if you're very, very sensitive, we can try the large coil. So let's do that. Okay, we're going to just quickly show you the large coil. We have it plugged in. Now we're going to turn on the Rife. It's running. So yes, you are getting at 50%. You're at 400. You're going to get a gentle Rife treatment with this. But again, it depends on where you're at in the break-in stage. If you're very sensitive and still using the large coil, then use the Rife with the large coil. If you've broken in with the ESC, we suggest you do that first and kind of get used to it. Then you can just use the medium coil, which is what you're going to end up using anyhow. So you could break in with Rife, then use the large coil. It's just the same protocol as the ESC technology. And this, again, is the controller for the Rife frequency. So we're still running this addiction program. And again, you have about 1,400 programs you can select from. If you have your own custom Rife frequencies that you like, you can build your own Rife program within this app. You can take a computer Rife app and input it. Any Rife application will work with this. If you have a spooky Rife, you can use that. So just go to town, find the frequencies you like, and use this as your carrier wave. I just want to emphasize, this carrier wave itself is, to me, 90% of the treatment already without any input of Rife. It's just a phenomenal treating, in this case, carrier wave is the treatment with the addition of a Rife frequency. In traditional Rife machines, even those plasma tube systems that you spend a fortune on, if you run them just straight on your body, you're not really getting a coherent cellular treatment. The high vortex electrostatic charge therapy is designed to repair toxic DNA or damaged DNA. Alrighty, so that's pretty much it for the Rife component of the ESC technology. Any questions, contact me, Andrew at blueseawater.com. Thank you.